Okay, mistake number three today of the seven biggest mistakes that people are making when starting a business. Join me so you don't make this one.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profit Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now, your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
All right, awesome. Thanks for being with me. Again, I keep saying it's like David Letterman's top 10 list. We're on number three after we talked about chasing fads and we talked about listening to your friends, or at least uh, listening to them with filters. So those were the first two. And what we're talking about today is, again, drum roll, not listening to your spouse. So, I'm never going to try to convince you on how you and your spouse should make decisions in life. And owning your own business, starting your own business, buying a franchise, it's not the biggest decision you'll ever make, but not including your spouse. And the reason I say that is, having children, your house, those are clearly typically much larger investments and dollars involved in those decisions. But not having your spouse involved in this decision of your next major career move or career decision, it's just crazy not including your spouse. So why do I say this? I want to share a few reasons why. One is they probably know you better than anyone else on the planet. And the other thing is, I like to use the phrase stakeholders, and they and your family are the ones that'll be most impacted by this decision, in addition, obviously, to yourself. But you're all excited about this. You're the one who wants to do this. This is your dream. But they are impacted one way or the other. They are major, major, major stakeholders in this decision. So in the long run, if you do this, you want their support. Particularly, you want your spouse's support, because that's usually your first line of a relationship and engagement and support that you want. So let me talk to you about some other reasons why you want to do this. It's really, and this is something I think that is really missed by people that are looking to start their own business or looking to purchase a franchise or do reach that goal of business ownership through the model of franchising. It's pretty awful when the business and the marketplace, so to speak, kicks you in the gut. It doesn't mean that this was the wrong decision in the long run. It doesn't mean this is the wrong, that you should not have done this. It's a fact of business. It's a fact of the marketplace that once in a while, it's going to kick you in the gut. It's going to knock your legs out from under you. And then if you go home and the place that you want to feel safe and comfortable and you want to be encouraged, which is your spouse and your family, it's awful if you then go home after the business knocked you down and then also get knocked down or hear the "I told you so." And again, just it's just piling on to what the business and the marketplace occasionally may do. So that's one big thing you're probably not considering. And I really think you need to recognize how important your spouse and your family are to this overall decision you're thinking about doing. Another thing, and maybe this is one of my last points, bringing your spouse into this investigation and decision process too late is what I would call a dream killer. And it's a dream killer for you. And I have literally seen this happening or seen this happen in my franchising days and my 24 years of business ownership myself and helping people into their own business through franchising. When you have really found something that you're excited about, but you haven't engaged in a serious way, you haven't engaged your spouse or your significant other in the process, you're all excited. Your levels of knowledge and excitement are up here. But when you then start to significantly engage your spouse in the conversation, your spouse is down here. And so you have this major gap in excitement, interest, and knowledge. And so, honestly, it's almost impossible to close that gap. I've seen it kill people's deals when they really had found, we had helped them find the right business for them. I've seen this kill their dreams. And once this one was killed, then honestly, those people probably never reinvestigated it again. It was dead and buried permanently because of the way that the person went about bringing their spouse involved. What happens when I talk about this gap? What I jokingly say is that you'll be all excited about this. You've now got a lot of knowledge and information about this, and you run into your spouse and you go, "Honey, honey, honey, I'm talking to this company. I'm going to give them six figures. We're going to lose our six-figure salary. We're going to lose all of our guaranteed income. We're going to lose the stock options, my vacation, and my company car. Are you on board with me, honey?" And so what your spouse is going to wonder at that stage is, who are you and what alien aircraft took you away or took my spouse away and replaced them with you? But seriously, that is almost literally what your spouse hears. They have no clue what's been going on. They have no clue why you're excited. All they're seeing in that scenario is how dramatically it's going to impact them and how much their safety net, or what they thought was always their safety net, how much that is now disintegrating and going away. So while I know it is tough to coordinate schedules for all the stakeholders involved, I really encourage you to try to do that. Or, in a franchise evaluation process, there are key times, and typically there's two or three key times, and that I think it's really important that your spouse be engaged. And different people will have different opinions on what those are. So I won't spend a lot of time on that today. But you don't want to have to try to translate everything that you've heard. You don't want to try to answer all of your spouse's questions all on your own, because you're just not going to be able to do that. So your franchise advisor, your franchise consultant or broker can help you as to which steps in the process would be wise to have your spouse engaged if indeed schedules are difficult to coordinate. Sometimes the individual brand that you might be talking to also has particular steps that they really want your spouse engaged, and want you to consider having your spouse involved. If you're working with a franchise consultant, again, I'll just say probably in the presentation time when the consultant is showing you brands that you might want to consider investigating, your spouse can give you good feedback and give you and your consultant good feedback of what they see and whether they see it as a good match. Another one could be with the franchise development rep. They could say, look, we definitely want to have your spouse involved in what's called the discovery day, when you've gone so far, and obviously all along the way, you've been speaking with your spouse, telling them what you're talking about, getting their questions answered, even though they couldn't get them answered directly, couldn't work out the schedules. You want to be sure they go to discovery day where you're meeting people, you're physically seeing the company. It's becoming concrete and real. So that would be another one where your franchise development reps will probably be telling you you should have your spouse involved. So summarizing, listen to your spouse in this decision-making process. Get them engaged. you can follow your dreams. You can achieve the goals and the objectives you want to achieve with your spouse and your family on board.